honesty, it's an interesting topic because we're all trying to be honest. We're all doing our best to be honest. But the funny thing about humans is that we lie to ourselves more than we lie to anybody else. And we don't even know we're doing it. We just do it. It's part of being human. And case in point, one of my first introductions to this idea was my second 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat, which was many years ago. And when I went in there, they explained that it was going to be 10 days of silence where you aren't talking to anyone and you also aren't calling anyone and you aren't doing anything really. You're just doing the practices there, the meditations every day, all day, basically for 10 days. And they explained that the reason for the silence was a kind of protection where you could focus more inward, but also so that you wouldn't tell any lies or falsehoods, because a lot of the times the things that come out of our mouths are not in alignment with our truth. Or they're in alignment with a part of ourselves where its truth is not actually the truth. It's a personal belief that we're seeing as a truth. So there's many levels of complexity, but the main idea is that as soon as we start talking, as soon as we start using words, there's a possibility for us to be dishonest with ourselves and others. And it's not really a good or bad thing in the larger picture, in the spiritual point of view. It's more like an energetic thing, because the truth is that we are energetic beings, and our energy is creating, and that's just the truth. So when we're not aligned with absolute honesty, and pretty much none of us are, but the more aligned with honesty we can become, the more powerful we will become. So I can prove this because I've been around a number of high-level leaders, and I've studied very powerful leaders, and even spiritual teachers, anybody who's really at that higher level of functionality, of operation in this world, where they also have a sense of calm and peace and centeredness. They are very honest. They are unnervingly honest. Not in a way where they're just attacking you or like that. That's not what honesty is. We're very confused these days about what honesty is. Honesty is not taking every opinion and belief of your human self, your human avatar self for this life, and like dumping it on other people. That's not honesty. Honesty is more of a checking in, a listening, a deeper listening inside yourself for what's actually true, what's really true. So for example, what's really true. So if you were with someone and they said something that upset you, the truth would be, oh, you just said something and I felt it and it felt uncomfortable for me. That would be the truth. What would not be the truth would be, you said this and it means this, this, and this, right? So that's one example of honesty. But another example is just social media. Should we go there? Social media is like the most dishonest place on earth. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that when you have a bunch of humans in a shared space where other people are watching, you're going to get a lot of protecting. You're going to get a lot of stuff where we're trying something. We're trying to be accepted, or we're wanting to be seen a certain way, not just by others, but mainly by ourselves. We want to, when we see our Instagram or our Facebook, when we look at our pictures, we want to see a certain version of ourselves that we deem okay. And that filters how honest we are being with our truth. And the problem with that is it actually chips away at our power. Because the truth is, every single one of us has incredible power. We are unlimited. That's not just an idea, that's an energetic reality. We are spirit in a human body, having a temporary experience. right? But that spirit part, and every person on earth is powerful. Just, we don't know it. We don't have the awareness of that. So we've lost that power. We're caught up in the human. There's human self here, if you imagine, human self here, higher self here. So here's our higher self, unlimited, but most of us are identified with our human self. And that's causing us to get lost in not being honest all the time, not being true, not really checking in. Because that the only way we can be honest is if we have a lot of self-awareness, if we do a lot of stopping to check in with what's true and get really curious, relentlessly curious, and ask deeper and deeper into your own self. Never trust the first answer. Check again, check deeper, check deeper, check deeper. Go under all the layers of the human self's ideas and beliefs and labels, opinions and judgments, till you get to the very core of the answer. And then you'll know, because it will feel true. That's the thing about truth. It feels true. That's why it's powerful. And that's also why when you hear people speak, you know, when you hear a powerful spiritual teacher speak or a powerful leader, what they're saying feels true. And so you resonate with that, you feel it, and then you trust them. And you can trust them on that because you can feel it. You can feel truth. You can also feel dishonesty in others, but we can also feel it in ourselves. So what is my point here? I'm asking for myself because this is an experiment. Right now, I'm actually doing an experiment in honesty for myself. It's more for me than for you, but I hope to share it with you to add whatever value I can for your journey, for your day. But for me, I'm really feeling like the next few months leading into 2024, and 2024 is going to be all about fucking honesty, like explorations in honesty for myself. What's true, and sharing more of what's true, not just with you, but yes, with you, but also with myself. What's true, exploring it, checking. And then experimenting with, just showing that, just sharing that. Because, you know, for a living, I'm a clairvoyant. I'm a clairvoyant channel, medium, coach, all those things. And even for myself, I know lots of people in this field, the field of coaching, but also other people who have abilities like I do. And for the most part, most of us share, some of us, but not all of us, would be like, oh, this is what you want to know. This is what you want to see. And this is what I'm just not going to show you. Because you won't interest you, or you won't want to pay for me, or whatever it is, if you know these things. But I'm interested at this point in my life in exploring what would happen if we just show up as ourselves, starting with me. If we just experiment with being real and sharing the truth and checking and going deeper and deeper, because it's going to keep getting deeper. There's different layers, but keep checking. Hopefully this is making some sense and I'm not just rambling, but this is what I'm feeling today. I'm feeling it really strongly. And one of the reasons is because whenever I go on Instagram, I find that like most of what I'm seeing is just not honest. It's not real. You know, it's what somebody wants to show us. And then the odd thing is very honest and very powerful. And I'm just like moved and transformed by it and affected by it and inspired by it. And so that's how I know already, and I bet you know too, the difference between the two and how one has power and one doesn't, right? One actually empowers you and one disempowers you. Because the truth is that when you see things that are dishonest, you may not always know, but you may feel shitty when you're looking at it. You may feel bad. You may feel not enough. You may feel like they're better than you, or You may feel jealous, you know, all those things, because you're looking at something that's like just a tiny part of reality, or not even reality, filtered reality, as opposed to reality. When I'm sure if you were to see the actual, it would be awesome if we could all see on Instagram or on all social media, TikTok, whatever, if we could see the thing they show you and then see all the other aspects of them and their lives, like the backdrop, the hidden underworld of humans. I don't just mean on TikTok. I'm not talking about just influencers here. I'm talking about all humans. Like, it would be really cool if when we met a human, we could see what they're showing us, and then we could see all the hidden shit that's like underneath that, all the other stuff. Like, because the reason why is not so that we could judge people, but because then we would see that none of us knows what the fuck we're doing. We're all just trying our best. We're all confused. We're all just like flying by the seat of our pants. We're all just making shit up and trying it. You know, that's honesty. That's the truth. And yeah, there are systems, of course. I use a system in my work with clients, and there are systems in business and people who run very successful business who have systems. So those things are valuable. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that I'm talking about this idea of radical honesty. That's what I mean, radical honesty with ourselves. And I'm not saying we have to do that with others, because I'm not always radically honest. Sometimes I feel too fragile, or like I don't have the energy for that, or I just don't want to, because you're allowed to do that too. You could be honest, always be honest with yourself first. Maybe you don't want to share those things. That's okay. That's fine. But it's more this idea of the power, that honesty has power and dishonesty disempowers. So I think that's really the idea that I was exploring today, that I wanted to share, not just for you, but for myself, because I myself am working to begin to get the courage, or maybe I have the courage because here I am. Been exploring this place, and I don't even know what it's going to look like. It's probably going to look messy. Maybe no one's going to watch it, but a few people. But we'll see. But it's exciting. It feels exciting for me. It feels like an adventure. And I love adventure. That's something you may or may not know about me. I've gone on many adventures. I've been to over 30 countries. I have to count them all. That's why I'm like probably more than 30 countries. I've done so many things. I've had so many major career type things. Senior editor at a business magazine, college teacher, facilitator, ran my own charity. Like, there's lots of things. And then I just go through these experimentation phases where I go all in on things, like dancing. I took up dancing 6 years ago, probably more than 6 years ago, just a little more. And I just went all in, and I'm still all in. So that's kind of an interesting thing for me, maybe to share, is I'm an all-in person. That's one of the secret things about me that I don't really share, that people don't really know, is that I'm a very intense person. You know, when I go into something, when I decide, I go all the fuck in, like all the way, like all the way. Like, I just go and I do that thing. It's like right now, if I were to define my life, it's work. So working with clients, leaders and entrepreneurs, creators, visionaries, people who build things, because I like building things. I like creating things. So I like working with people who are taking action. We're doing things. And I just help them do it better. That's just what I enjoy. That's the truth. I enjoy that. It's like having an impact in the world. The honest truth, it's like having a massive impact in the world without having to actually organize and manage the things. That's why I like doing it. Because I love having a massive impact. I love helping people. I love making a difference. I love alleviating suffering. You know, I hate suffering. I hate seeing people suffer. I want to alleviate suffering. so much more than I could even explain to you. But I realized the fastest way to do that is to help other people who are actually good at it do it better. You know, because I wasn't the best at it when I ran my children's charity or those things. I tried really hard, but it wasn't my strength. I like being in the background, sort of helping other people do it better. So that's another thing. Truth. There's a lot of truths coming out. It's very messy. I know. It's all over the place. But this is what I'm doing. It's a beginning, and I'm trying, and I'm going to try to show up and share shit and be honest and be real and just keep checking myself for fakery. I'm just going to keep checking. You know, I'm going to keep checking. Do I mean this? Is this real? Is this true? Is there something more true? I'm going to check. So this is my adventure this time, my adventure with honesty. And hopefully there was something useful in there with you, for you. Let me know. Let me know if any of that was useful for you, if you resonated with any of that, if any of that made sense to you. And if you might want to join me on this adventure in just being really fucking honest with yourself and others all the time. And see how it goes, see what happens. See what happens. Let's see what happens.